What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Legend GM Mode Fantasy Draft Special. This is going to be the episode where we're going to go through every single NHL team and show you guys what the new look NHL looks like after this crazy Legend experience. Whatever happened, the NHL is now overwhelmed with 80-ish new NHL players. Danny Heatley, Nikolai Zherdev. That's just on our team. We have two more as well, but a very fun experience. I had a blast drafting this team, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. But we're going to go through every single team after we go through ours, and we're going to see what every team looks like now. So Danny Heatley was our first pick. Obviously, we had to pick him for the one rule that I made, and he's a medium franchise. You can see all of his stats there. I didn't want to make him too overpowered because I wanted still room to grow for all these players. That's why I made some overalls a little bit lower for the franchise players. I didn't want to make everyone 95 overall at the very start. There's no room for growth. That's no fun to me. I want to see people grow over the course of this franchise mode. So medium franchise, you could see Heatley get 10 overall better and be at 98 overall very soon. John Tavares was my second overall pick. I thought that was a great centerman for a sniper like Danny Heatley. And then to finish it off, our first line, Nikolai Zherdev, who is a right wing sniper as well, 86 overall. And then we got Rick Nash. Leon Draisaitl was a selection that I think I needed to make because the center core was a little bit weak after Tavares. I didn't know if the computer was going to select anyone good or not. So Leon Draisaitl was, I think, our fourth pick or our fifth pick. Yeah, he was our fifth pick. But EA gave him a pretty nice upgrade in the new roster update, so that's kind of nice. We got two vets between him, though. Mike Camilleri, obviously Rick Nash, Riley Smith, Brandon Sutter, and Sven Berchi, who is now a high top 6 forward, which is kind of nice. Our other franchise player is Fetisov. He is the Russian legend there for the Detroit Red Wings. Won a few cups, had a crazy career in the USSR, obviously now Russia. Crazy story with him. I mentioned it in the last video, but this guy is a badass. Go watch the documentary Red Army. It's all about how he abandoned the USSR, which is obviously Russia now, and came to North America and won a few Stanley Cups now with the Detroit Red Wings. But a bona fide badass, Fetisov. He's awesome. So there you go. I decided to select him as well. We got Ryan Murray, Zach Bogosian, Ivan Provorov, Jonathan Ericsson, and Connor Murphy. And then in the cage, we got Pascal Leclerc, who is a low franchise goalie. If you don't know who Pascal Leclerc is, he was a top 10 pick for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He had all this hype coming in. He was supposed to be the next one, all right? He was supposed to be the next big goalie in the NHL. And unfortunately, it didn't really turn out that way. Had a few injuries. They traded him to Ottawa, which is obviously a team we have, and he ended up retiring shortly after that. Played a few games with Ottawa, played in the playoffs, but unfortunately, he ended off his career with Ottawa. And I thought to bring him back just for fun, and he's a low franchise goalie, so I assume he's going to get good. I've never had to deal with a low franchise goalie before, so I'm interested to see how he's going to grow. He was my second choice. I wanted to get Mika Kiprasov, but unfortunately it didn't work out like that. Let's have a look at everybody's lines in the NHL. Alright, it is time to see who went where in this crazy fantasy draft. So we're going to start with the Anaheim Ducks, work our way throughout the entire NHL, see which team turned out good, which team turned out bad in the fantasy draft. I mean, I don't know if there is really going to be a bad because everyone got a legend. So let's go ahead here and start with the Anaheim Ducks. Now, if my memory serves me correct, they went ahead and they selected Martin Brodeur with their first overall pick. So you can see here Gaudreau, Hedman, Giordano. So they get the little Calgary connection going on there with Giordano and Gaudreau. Pretty decent forward core, not bad at all. Any decent prospects? Nicholas Patan. I'm going to try to show you guys all of the stats for the legends. It's going to be a bit hard because it does take a little while, but you can pause and you can see if you'd like. So Martin Brodeur, obviously the best goalie of all time. Martin Brodeur is a beast. Korpisalo, Mike Smith went back to the Arizona Coyotes. That's kind of funny. Couldn't stay away from Arizona, eh, Mike Smith? You just couldn't stay away. They got two legends. Wow, they have a lot of sick players. Oh my god. They look stacked. Oh my god. Esposito, Fedorov, Corey Perry, Ekblad. Wow, that is straight up nasty. That's pretty decent. Their forward core is sick. I mean, then they got Wayne Simmons as well, Zuccarello, Alexei Sharaponov. So he was one of the legends that I created. He was a draft pick in 2008, I believe, by the New York Rangers, and during a game he collapsed on the bench and he actually passed away, so I thought I would throw him in there for one of the legend categories. Pretty sad. I actually remember when that happened, and Jaromir Jagr was sitting right next to him on the bench, so pretty scary stuff there, but I decided to throw him in there. The Bruins, they got back Bobby Orr, and rightfully so. There you go, buddy. Bobby Orr, welcome home. 95 overall. I believe he's the best defenseman I made. I assume he is. I don't know of anyone else that I made that was even close to him. The closest one I made was actually was Nick Lidstrom, and he was like 93 or 94 overall. So Taylor Hall, Nicholas Backstrom, that's a very nice lineup there. Pavel Dimitra was another one of the legends that I made. Again, another player who unfortunately passed away. He passed away in the tragic KHL plane accident. Michael Dal-Cole, Wade Belak was another one of the legends. There you go. Again, another person who passed away. God, this is getting depressing really quick. But I made him a big enforcer, 6'5", 226. Have a look at everyone else. And as for the goaltenders, this might take a while. So if you want to just skim through it, you definitely can. Go see your favorite team. Go ahead, be my guest. Bruins get Corey Crawford. All right, very interesting. Off to the Buffalo Sabres. In the net, they have Devin Dubnyk. All right, they got set up there between the cage. They pick Mario Lemieux, 5th overall. I can't believe this guy dropped to 5th. That is unbelievable. Mario Lemieux, there you go. Center power forward. It made him just a beast all the way around. 5 stars for everything. 96 overall. He definitely deserves it. Ilya Kovalchuk. I wouldn't mind getting Ilya Kovalchuk. I wish I would have brought him back for the little connection there with Kovalchuk and Heatley, but he went there. John Carlson, Steen. Okay, they have a pretty good squad. Very well-rounded. Ethan Bear. Anyone else that I can see? No one, unfortunately. So moving on here to the Carolina Hurricanes. I really wish you could just see line by line, but unfortunately in Next Gen you can't, and it's really, really annoying. But anyways, Dominic Hasek was one of the better goalies I made, aside from Martin Brodeur. Obviously one of the better goalies of all time, in my opinion. He's in my top 3 for sure, with Marty Brodeur and Patrick Waugh. They got Theo Fleury, who I think is their only legend. 88 overall, medium franchise. Definitely not bad. A right wing sniper. Only 5'7" though. He's actually 5'6", but I couldn't make him any smaller. So there's everyone. They got Chris Kreider, Seth Jones. Pretty decent core there. They're going to have Bergeron, Fleury, and probably Hoffman as their first line. Not bad at all there in Carolina. Definitely nice. I'll probably just go ahead and say what I think their first line is going to be. Maybe that can give you guys like a better visual. Holy shit, these guys have a ton of players. Dale Hawerchuk went to Columbus. He was a pretty decent legend. I made 90 overall. And again, I made the legends overall a little bit lower than what I usually would, because I want there to be room for growth. I just don't want these guys all to be 95 overall straight out the gate. Their first line is probably going to be Taze, Pavelski, and Voracek. That's a pretty nice line, actually. Luc Bourdon was another legend that I made. Again, another player who passed away for the Vancouver Canucks. What else we got here? Thomas Chabot. So there's our star prospect that unfortunately got taken away from us. He was drafted by the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're going to move on to the goaltenders. Who did they get? I think they only got one legend. Yeah, sorry, they got 2 with Luc Bourdon. But Cam Talbot between the pipes there in Columbus. We got the Calgary Flames next, and they got Marc-Andre Fleury and Jimmy Howard. Okay. Calgary finally gets a number 1 goalie there in Marc-Andre Fleury. Who did they get for their legend? They got a few. Okay, they got Chris Chelios and Keith Tkachuk and Olli Jokinen. Is that all of them? They got 3. And Marian Hossa down there. Wow, okay, yeah, they're definitely stacked up. Calgary looks sick. We got Chris Chelios here, who is a defensive defenseman. I wish I would have made him a 2-way now that I think about it, but still pretty decent. And Keith Tkachuk, big Walt. I made him pretty decent. He's got a really good physical category there. He is a beast. And we got Olli Jokinen. Man, I can't believe it. You guys wanted me to make him on Twitter, so I did. I made you guys happy. There you go. You got your wish of Olli Jokinen. So they got 3 legends. That's pretty impressive. Chicago, let's see who they got. They got Mark Messier, Alexander McGillney, so there's those 2 legends. They also got Ty Domi as well, so they got 3. That's pretty impressive. Let's see what Ty Domi's looking like. You can see there, 5'8", 217. Just a small guy, but he's got a lot of weight to him. He's a beast. He can throw those haymakers like no tomorrow. Alexander McGillney, right-wing sniper. He was definitely on my list of players to get, but we decided to go elsewhere. And the Moose, Mark Messier, there you go, going to the Chicago Blackhawks. And in the cage, I believe they took Mika Kiprasov from us. I think he was the guy. Oh no, they got Henrik Lundqvist. Who took Mika Kiprasov? I remember I really wanted Kipper, and some random team stole him from me. Corey Schneider went to the Avalanche. He's the starting goalie. And as for legends, they get, oh my god, I can see a few. They get Paul Coffey, LeCavalier, Gonchar, and Larocque. They get 4. Have we seen that before? No, I think that's it. 4 legends for them. Wow. All right, George Larocque, 85 overall, high top 6, right wing enforcer. That guy is going to be a beast. Oh my god. George Larocque, you scary, man. You scary. Sergei Gonchar was another player we were going to select. Instead, we selected Fetisov or Fetisov, however you want to pronounce his name, and Vinny LeCavalier. This guy I really wanted to get, a center power forward, but he was taken 2 selections prior to what I was going to get. It was either going to be him, Matt Sundin, or John Tavares. Unfortunately, Sundin and LeCavalier both got selected, and we had to go with John Tavares, which is a pretty decent consolation prize. Paul Coffey went to the Avs as well, a really good offensive defense. The Avs look pretty set with Gonchar and Paul Coffey. That's a really nice 1-2 punch there, especially with Brodin and McCabe. Got a really nice defensive core there in Colorado. That is definitely scary. 2 big legends there along with Corey Schneider. That is a pretty nice defensive look there. The Dallas Stars got Pekka Rinne, Antti Ranta. Now, if you are noticing any players that went back to their original team that I'm missing while I'm skipping through this, please let me know. But holy shit, Malkin, Kucherov, and Gretzky. Oh my god, that's got to be the sickest line and maybe ever. Holy shit. Gretzky, Kucherov, and I can't even believe that. That's insane. So Gretzky, pretty much 99 all across the board. A few stats are a little bit lower, but I wanted to make him 97. If I was to make his shooting category any better, he would have jumped up to 98, 99. But again, I want room for growth. Any other legends here? Dmitry Kulikov, Zach Sanford, my dude. What a beast. Medium top 9. Watch out for that kid. He gets to be really, really good. As per our Japan GM mode, he's a beast. So let's move on here to Dallas. Dallas got a couple of really nice legends. Obviously, probably the best one with Wayne Gretzky. Detroit, who did they got? They got Bishop and Price. That is overpowered. Looks really good there in the goaltending category. And they got their Rocket Richard, and they got Eric Carlson and Philip Forsberg. Wow, that's really nice. Yeah, they got a bunch of old guys, though, like Patrick Sharp, Jay Bullmeister, Legwan. Sorry, he was one of the legends. That's right. He was the legend for, who was it? Sorry, for Nashville. It was hard for me to find a legend for Nashville. I used Radulov last time, but now he's obviously playing for Montreal. So I brought in Legwand. He's played the most games in franchise history, so it was only right I brought him in for one of the legends. But they got Joe Thornton, Chara. They got a bunch of these old guys. Man, these guys are ancient. A bunch of old people there in Detroit. Over to Edmonton. They don't have McDavid anymore. They got Steven Stamkos, Kovalev, and Rick Rippon, and Pavel Kubina. Holy crap. Throw Alexei Kovalev in there as well, right-wing sniper, ex-Montreal Canadian. Rick Rippon, who is a center enforcer, medium elite. Look at that physical category. The best pound-for-pound fighter the NHL has ever seen. We got Pavel Kubina here, who is a machine, 6'4", 257. I decided to make an interesting one there with Pavel Kubina. He played a ton of games for Tampa Bay. He's a beast. There he is, Pavel Kubina. And I believe that's it. Yeah, that's it for them. They got UC Jokinen. But I really want to know which players went to their original teams. I think that's so cool how that happens. And they got Quick and Reimer. So 3 legends plus Jonathan Quick. Pretty nice there in Edmonton. They got Tuukka Rask over there in Florida. Now this guy, I remember this team was stacked. They had Ovi, Weber, Burns, Couture. Oh my my God, Jesus, they're stacked. Gabriel Landeskog, where's all their legends at? Kevin Fiala, man, brutal what happened to him the other night. He broke his femur, which is ridiculous. But for legends, I don't know if they even picked a legend. Did they even get one? Brandon Pierlini, GOAT alert. There it is, Dave Semenko. They did get one legend. He is Enforcer that I made. He was the one who protected Wayne Gretzky throughout his entire career. Well, I guess his tenure in Edmonton anyways. Dave Semenko, a beast. Yeah, so they only got the one legend there. That's all right. Some teams have three, some teams have one. I just wanted each team to at least have one legend. So let's see what the LA Kings got. They got Mike Bossy and Larry Robinson. So a beast forward there, 6 shooting category. Again, I didn't want to make it any higher because I want room for growth. I want to see these players grow from 91 to 99. So Larry Robinson, the big bird there, played for Montreal for so many years. They got Ristolainen as well. Risto and Robinson, that's gross. They got Alex Nylander as well, Jeff Skinner, Kyle Turris. Very, very nice looking team there in Los Angeles. Also got Alex Radulov there. And then Martin Jones and Cam Ward in the cage. So LA looks pretty good. They're up there for one of the better teams. Have a look at the Minnesota Wild. They got Thatcher Demko, the GOAT, and they also got Eddie Balfour. So wow, that's a really nice 1-2 punch there in net. And then as the forward core, they got Connor McJesus, Wade Redden, and Alex Pietrangelo. So Wade Redden was one of those legends that I made as well. Low franchise, two-way defenseman, one of the Ottawa legends. And then Simone Gagne was another one, longtime Philadelphia Flyer. And I believe he ended off his career with the LA Kings with that Stanley Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Sean Couturier, Nick Leddy, Charlie McAvoy. Anyone else that I'm missing legend-wise? I don't think so. Pretty nice team there in Minnesota with McDavid, obviously the big piece to build your team around. And this one is nasty. Okay, I think I know who has the best forward core anyways. Solani, Bure, Eichel, Galchenyuk. Oh my God. Plus they have Sergachev and Barzil. Oh my God. That's kind of cool that Sergachev went back to the original team that drafted him, obviously first round pick by Montreal, and 2 ex-Leafs end up going to Montreal as well. It's kind of funny how that works out. Anyone else that I can see here? That is a nasty team. Oh my God. Teemu Selanne, right wing sniper, medium franchise, and then Pavel Bure. I made his speed just ridiculous. What a beast though. Holy crap. This whole team is going to be nuts in like 3 years when Eichel's like 90, 93, and then Galchenyuk's like 90. That is probably the best team I've seen so far. And in the cage, they have Robin Lehner and Brian Elliott. So 2 pretty good goalies there, but I think already Montreal probably has the best looking team. John Gibson is the goaltender for the New Jersey Devils, and as their forwards, they have Patty Kane, Martin St. Louis, Getzlaf, Barkov, Morgan Riley, Oli Mata. Wow. Yeah, they're stacked as well. Only the one legend for these guys, which is obviously Martin St. Louis, 89 overall, medium franchise. I made him pretty quick as well. Pretty decently well-rounded stats for Martin St. Louis. Only one legend there for New Jersey. Over to Nashville, they have Brian Leach, who was one of the better defensemen I made. He is a two-way defenseman, medium franchise. Again, very well-rounded stats. Vlasic and Leach together is probably one of the best shutdown pairing in the NHL, if not the best shutdown defensive pairing. They got Max Pacioretty, Derek Stepan, and Brad Marchand. That's probably what their first line's looking like. And in the cage, maybe they got another franchise goaltender. Let's have a look-see here. Tony Esposito, there he is, 89 overall. I'm trying to show you guys each individual legend, just their stats, so unless you want to stop and pause it, tell me if I screwed something up or not. I tried to match the stats with what I think they should be. I mean, obviously, if I watched a player a lot, like Mika Kiprasov, I know what his strengths are, I know what his weaknesses are, or a player like I have no idea about, like Dave Semenko, you know, I just know he's big and tough. I don't know if he scored goals or not. So that was a little bit challenging, but I tried to make it the best that I could. They have 3 legends. They have Chris Pronger, who is one of the better defensemen I made as well. He's a tank, obviously 6'6", 221, very, very well-rounded stats. And they got Peter Bondra, who is a right-wing sniper, really good shooting category. He actually has 500 goals in the NHL. Not many people classify Peter Bondra as one of the best snipers out there, but 500 goals, it's really, really impressive. Austin Matthews as well. Montreal, having a look at their prospect pool here, I guess their young guy pool, they got Matthews, they got Nylander. Okay, so Matthews and Nylander go back together. That's kind of awesome. They also got Clayton Keller. Oh my God, that's a scary looking team in a few years once Matthews is up there with, wow, okay, yeah, they got Matthews and all those franchise guys. Oh my God, yeah, they're going to be disgusting. Matthews and Peter Bondra on a line together. Woo! Obviously in the cage, Mika Kiprusoff, a guy that I wanted to get, but unfortunately they snagged him right from under me. Steve Mason is the man in New York for the Rangers, and who'd they get? They got a couple legends here. They have three that I can see right off the bat. They got Ron Francis, who's one of the best playmakers of all time, hence the 95 passing. Guy's got like 1,600 points or something. Bobby Clark was a really nice player. One of the teams I wanted to actually do was Philadelphia, because I wanted to play with Bobby Clark. I wanted to see how this guy would pan out on the ice, especially with his 97 aggressiveness and 92 body checking. 97 for aggressiveness. That guy's going to be a machine out there. Kevin Shattenkirk, Jonathan Chichu was a medium elite grinder. Yeah, see, you didn't mean to make him a grinder. That's one of the mistakes that I made in the last video. I pointed it out. So far, it's the only mistake that I've seen. So one mistake out of 80. I mean, you can't really blame me that much. It could have been a lot worse. But I think that's all the legends they have. They got a couple of decent ones, very well-rounded team. Lucic, Reinhardt, Chichu, Gallagher, Triamkin. Very, very nice. We already looked at their goaltenders, I believe. Yeah, it was Steve Mason. Right. My bad. Sorry, it's hard to keep track with all these teams and who has who and what team has which player. Kirk McLean went to the Philadelphia Flyers, the goalie we passed over in exchange for Pascal Leclerc. If Leclerc never played for the Ottawa Senators, I'd probably go with Kirk McLean. But anyways, we have Pascal Leclerc, and I'm happy with him. The Philadelphia Flyers got Marcel Dion, who is third or fourth all-time in goals scored. He has like, I don't want to say 800, but maybe like 700 at least. He scored a ton of goals. Marcel Dion there, longtime LA King. Boris Salming, who was the legend for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Medium franchise, pretty decent stats. Chris Letang and Boris Salming, that's nasty. And then with Marcel Dion, Patrick Laine, and Nikolai Ehlers, holy crap. And then Monahan, Tony Hand, and Tara Vinen, that's gross. Now, I'm going to guess 90% of you have no idea who Tony Hand is. Go ahead and give him a Wikipedia search. Tony Hand was an interesting story because he was averaging like 200 or 300 points a year. Yeah, 300 points a year in the Scottish League, which really doesn't sound that great. I mean, the Scottish League, probably people aren't that great, but I guess from what I understood from reading over the Wikipedia and watching a few things on YouTube is that he wanted to come to North America. He came over to North America and came over to Edmonton when the Oilers were during their 80s dynasty, and he wanted to be a part of the team, but I'm not sure how exactly it went down, but apparently either the coaching staff or the players didn't like him, and for whatever reason, he decided to leave Edmonton, even though he ripped it up in preseason games. I think he has like 4 or 5 points in like 2 or 3 games, so he was doing very well against NHLers, so I'm not sure what the whole story was, but it's kind of a mystery because, you know, what could have been? You could have had Gretzky and Tony Hand on a line together, as again, I'm seeing another mistake. He should not be a grinder, he should be a sniper. That's my fault, but well, that sucks now that I noticed 2 mistakes out of 80. Pretty decent player there, Tony Hand. Just go look at his stats. He averages like 300 points a year, like 200 points a year in the Scottish League. It's ridiculous. I didn't know a player could do that, but I mean, obviously I don't know how good the Scottish League is. I'm sure if you put me in the Scottish League, I could probably score a couple of goals, but still a very cool story there, so I thought I'd make him a low elite legend. So we got Matt Murray here, Yaroslav Halak are the men in Pittsburgh, so Matt Murray went back to Pittsburgh. I love when that happens. That's really, really cool. Going over to the forwards here, I guess the all-skaters, they got Joe Sakic, Burnaby Joe. I can see 3 legends already. Joe Sakic, he is one of the better players I made, honestly. He's a tank. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 legends I can see right off the bat. Dave Taylor, who was the LA Kings legend, he has the all-time most games played. I think all-time most points as well. Darian Hatcher was a beast, 6'5", 225. He played for the Dallas Stars for a long time. And then Scott Niedermayer, the guy who just likes to win. He's won Stanley Cups, Olympic Golds, Conn Smythes, Calder trophies, whatever you want. This guy wins it all. Olympic golds, World Junior gold, doesn't really matter. They got a bunch of decent players though. Travis Hamonic, Matt Duchene, Jesse Puljujarvi, Robbie Fabry, Sam Steele. So I guess they got Nikolai Goldolbin too. What a beast. But who's their goalie? Sorry, Matt Murray. Duh, I've already been over this. But they have a couple of legends there. That's not bad to see in Pittsburgh. We're almost over here. Billy Smith is the goalie for the San Jose Sharks. Now, he was involved in the New York Islanders dynasty when they won 4 straight cups. He was a big part to that, so I thought you got to have Billy Smith in there. Going back to his original team was Owen Nolan, which is awesome to see. He was the face of this franchise for so long. My favorite Owen Nolan moment, look it up on YouTube. It's when he was at the All-Star game coming down on a breakaway. He took one hand off the stick, pointed where he was going to shoot with his other hand. He was like, I'm going top right, and he sniped it. I don't know who it was on. I can't remember off the top of my head. Might have been Brodeur or something, some 90s goalie, but that was one of my favorite moments. So they got Owen Nolan, Jeff Carter, Tyler Seguin, Drew Doughty. Very, very nice. Bob Probert there, 85 overall. He's a left-wing enforcer. Again, another player who passed away, 5-star physical category. And I think that's it for Legends. Yeah, that's it for Legends. So the Sharks get their original captain back with Owen Nolan, and they get Billy Smith. So a few Legends there. Going over to Crosby's team here in St. Louis. I don't know if they have a legend because they picked Crosby so high. I don't think they do, actually. They may have like a goaltender, but Sidney Crosby, obviously the main focus around this team. Seabrook, Tarasenko, Neal. Oh my god, you're going to have Neal, Tarasenko, and Crosby on a line together? Oh, that is scary. That is absolutely scary. Do they even have one legend? I hope they got one. Braden Holtby, no, they don't even have one legend. So the first team that we've seen without a legend is the St. Louis Blues. I want to double check here just to make sure they didn't get any. I guess not. Okay, no legends for the St. Louis Blues. Very, very interesting. Out of like 80, they don't even get one. Going over to Tampa Bay, they got Jamie Benn. Al McInnes is one of their legends. I can see Glenn Wesley there as well. I'll talk about him in a second, but you can see here Al McInnes with the blistering slap shot, 98 slap shot power and accuracy. He should be ripping them home. Another legend we got here is Glenn Wesley. He played for so long with the Carolina Hurricanes, eventually won his Stanley Cup. Due to this guy's grind, he played till he was like 39 or something. Thought I'd throw him in there for the Carolina Hurricanes legend. Brock Besser, what a beast. They pretty much win the cup already with him. Pretty nice squad though. Pretty nice squadron there in Tampa Bay. And they got Sergei Bobrovsky in the cage. So very, very nice. We're almost done here. We got a few more. All right, Toronto, you guys want to see this. Vasilevsky and John Van Viesbroek. Okay. I think Antoine Bibeau actually plays for Toronto. Yeah, he did. He was drafted by Toronto. So that's right. He went back to his original team. And they have 3 goalies who could play in the NHL. But I don't know what they're going to do there in Toronto. They got quite the goaltending controversy there with Ryan Miller. And in, oh wow, their defense, Nicholas Lidstrom and PK Subban. Holy crap. Okay, well, Nicholas Lidstrom, he was drafted pretty high, I think 3rd overall. He went to Toronto, obviously, and made him probably one of the best defensemen out there. PK Subban went back to his childhood days playing for whatever team it was in Toronto there, the Toronto St. Pats or the Junior Toronto Maple Leafs, whatever they're called, and he goes back there, so that's kind of cool. Goes to Toronto. Pierre-Marc Bouchard is one of the legends that I made, one of the lower guys. He is a low franchise. I needed him for the Minnesota Wild legend, so there he is with Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Anyone else? Boone Jenner, Jared Spurgeon, pretty decent. I mean, they got their 2 legends with Van Viesbroek there in the cage, but very, very nice defensive core there. On to my Vancouver Canucks. Let's see how they made out. Scott Stevens and Paul Kariya. That's actually hilarious. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's the best thing I've ever seen. If you think of a hockey hit, what do you think of? Well, I think of Scott Stevens absolutely decimating Paul Kariya in the playoffs. But to Paul Kariya's defense, he came back like 10 minutes later and scored the game game tying goal. I remember that. That was so awesome. It was one of my favorite hockey moments of all time. But that's hilarious that they're on the exact same team. Oh my God, Vancouver, you guys got so lucky. Scott Stevens, who's a beast with that physical category, 99 body checking, and Paul Kariya, who's fast as hell. He's a beast. One of my favorite players growing up. They got two legends there with Paul Kariya and Scott Stevens. They got Matthew Tkachuk, Nathan MacKinnon. Oh my God, having MacKinnon, Kariya, and Tkachuk. Wow, that's nasty. Plus, they got Ole Ulevi. He went back to his original team. That's awesome. Pavel Datsyuk is on this team as well. That's interesting. And moving on to the goalies, who did they get? They get a legend goalie? They may have. Yeah, they did. Thomas Vokoun, who was the man in Nashville for so many years. Man, Vancouver's got a nice team as well. I love that, though. I love that Scott Stevens and Paul Kariya went back on the exact same team. That's hilarious. Two more teams here. We got Washington and we got the Winnipeg Jets. So I remember Gordie Howe went to Winnipeg. There he is, 95 overall. What a beast, Mr. Hockey. Rest in peace. Unfortunately, he passed away last year. Gordie Howe, one of the best to ever do it, and he was mean out there too. So I made his physical category really, really good. He's going to play alongside of Claude Giroux and Phil Kessel. Oh my God, that's going to be a ridiculous line. That's crazy. Another legend they got was Tempo Numanen. It was actually kind of funny that he went to the Winnipeg Jets because he played a lot of his career with the Winnipeg Jets and then ended off with the Arizona Coyotes. But that's kind of funny how he went back to Winnipeg. They have a lot of people down the middle though. They got Giroux, Kessler, Brassard, Henrik Sedin. Anyone else are hiding back down here? They got Yager, 87 overall. Frederick Gauthier, they got the GOAT. And in the cage, did I already check the goalies? I'm not sure. Anyways, they got Evgeny Nabokov, who is a sick goalie as well. He is a medium franchise, 88 overall. Would have loved to get Nabokov, but you know what? We got Pascal Leclerc, and I'm interested to see how he's going to pan out. Going over to the last team here with the Washington Capitals, they got Frederick Anderson, and who did they get for their legend? Well, they got a couple. They got Peter Forsberg and Matt Sundin. That's not even fair. Give me one of those guys. Oh my God, Peter Forsberg, what a beast. Again, one of my favorite players growing up. Matt Sundin, 90 overall, medium franchise. Made him a tank as well, 6'5", 229. And they also got Andrew Brunette, who was the Minnesota Wild legend. I tried to give the Wild a couple of legends there because it's kind of hard to pick, but Andrew Brunette played a long time for the Minnesota Wild, and he was a Vancouver Canuck killer. They got Stone, they got Ben Hutton as well, Mitch Marner. So you're going to have Sundin, Marner, and Brunette. That's gross. As well as Mark Stone up there. So that is quite the team right there. And in the cage, I already checked it, but I forgot again. And it was Frederick Anderson. Right. So that is everyone. Wow, that was a lot of talking. But that is everyone after the fantasy draft. Thank you for watching. Let me know who you think had the best team. Let me know if I missed anyone else to see who went to their original team or if they went to a team that they've played for previously. Here's one last look at our team, and then I'm going to call this one an episode. So in the next one, I'm going to construct all your guys' comments, and we're going to hop into the simulation. We're going to get this show on the road with the all-star himself, Danny Heatley, John Tavares, and Nikolai Zherdev. Should be a blast. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know who you think is the best in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.